Welcome to the podcast. It's the best podcast in the world. This is going to end up on the show. I know it, motherfucker.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to episode 115 of Epitome of Stupidity, your favorite allegedly metal podcast. Today's tune is brought to us by the French prog rock vets Klone, or at least I fucking hope that's how it's pronounced. That's right, France has more than just Gojira, and you damn well better be aware of it. The song is called Interlaced, and it's a single off their upcoming album, The Unseen, which will be released November 8th if you're hearing this before that date. More about them shortly, but first, how about some of this?
Sonic Temple Art and Music Festival, the pinnacle of rock festivals in America, returns in 2025 with Linkin Park, Korn, 2 nights of Metallica, No Repeat Weekend, plus Bad Omens, Incubus, Alice in Chains, Rob Zombie, 3 Days Grace, Alice Cooper, I Prevail, Jimmy Eat World, Chevelle, Motionless in White, and so many more. May 8th to the 11th at Historic Crew Stadium in Columbus, Ohio. Passes on sale now at SonicTempleFestival.com.
There are so many bands at Sonic Temple this year, and more than a few of them are bands I've never fucking seen before, which is kind of crazy. And I'll get to take them off my bucket list when I get to go to see them there. It's going to be fun. Can't wait. You should stick around because I'm probably going to be giving away some more passes. Congrats to the people who won the passes from the first giveaway, by the way. I can't remember their names off the top of my head, and their Instagram handles are on a little sheet of paper there. I'm not going to read them to you. Anyways, if you're new here, welcome in. I'm Clint, and I'll be your host. And if you need a refreshment, please grab it before the captain turns on the sit down and listen light. If you're not new here, you'll note that I've got your favorite beverage there ready and waiting for you. You want to know what one of my favorite beverages is? Frickin' mead. That stuff is delicious. And no one does it better than the Brimming Horn dudes. Get some to see for yourself by going to brimminghornmeadery.com and ordering some. At checkout, be sure to use code EPITOMEAD, that's EPITOMEAD, and you'll even get a 10% discount. That's a good damn deal, even before you've had the deliciousness of mead in your belly. Get in my belly. So, what have you been listening to? Let's change this up. How about you tell me for a little bit? Okay, yeah, no, I like that too. I haven't listened to that one yet. I'm going to second guess you on that and just kind of take this over. It's good to hear from you, though. Since we last talked, I've gone, a buddy of mine keeps telling me about a band called Vola. A lot of you have probably already heard of and listened to them. I've also heard of them. He keeps telling me about them, and I kept listening to this song or that song, and it never really struck me. But this time around, it really fucking stuck, and I've really been enjoying some Vola. Also made my way back to some Hippotractor and Sugar Horse with stuff like theirs and today's guest, again, one Klone. Their new albums this year is going to make putting together that album of the year list at the end of the year fucking difficult. But that's what's going to make it fun. So, some quick Clint notes on Klone before we jump into the conversation. They were formed in the olden times of the 90s under the band SWAT, then changed the name to Klone in 99. Their first releases came out in the early thousands, and in the span of time leading up to and including 2024's The Unseen, they have something like 12 releases if you include live and acoustic albums. Not a lot of downtime there. They're a band that isn't afraid to expand their sonic horizons. If you're into stuff like The Ocean, Intronaut, Tool, and the like, I think you're going to enjoy these guys if you're not already. To prove my point, how about a longer, more Klone-centric conversation with somebody who's a bit more in tune with what they've got going on? Fran's phone sounds. Beep, 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 ring. And he answered. On the line with me today is, I've already forgotten how to pronounce your name, and you just told me. Guillaume?
Hey, my name is Guillaume. Guillaume, exactly.
Guillaume, how the hell are you today?
I'm really fine. I just take a look around today. I have been in the forest, and I feel really good. And I have a small child at home, and my girl, my son, have 2 months years old, so she's really small, you know,
Small,
and it's
yeah,
a baby
yeah.
that is crying a lot.
That sounds
So
great.
when you go outside your home and you go to the forest, it's cool for your ears.
I believe it. So where obviously your accent is pretty thick there. Where are you calling from?
I come from Poitiers, and Poitiers in France, it's in the middle west side of France, between Bordeaux and Nantes. I don't know if you know the country very well, but it's a middle west side,
Okay.
and
So
it's good to live here.
a good old Midwestern France guy. It sounds like it's going to be a good conversation. What have you been? I see you with your Godspeed T-shirt on. What have you been listening to here lately?
Ah, exactly, yeah. Yes, I'm a big fan of Godspeed You Black Emperor, and I have already seen this band live, and I discovered it maybe 15 years ago. And with not this album, but the one just after. This is which one is it? I don't remember the name exact of this one. Lift, maybe no.
I think so.
Yeah, and the one just after called Yankee Uxo.
Yeah, that's Lift, and yeah, Yankee UXO.
Exactly, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And I think it's a Canadian band.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes, it is. Yes. And so, you know, I play metal music, and I love post-rock music too.
What else have you been listening to here lately?
Wow, there is so many things. Sampha, Sampha. I really like the last album of this guy. It's like soul music with electronic things sometimes, but it's so cool. I really like this album, and I like so many different things. Maybe like rock music, you know, in general. I was also a big fan of old band when I was young, like Megadeth, this kind of thing, you know. I can listen Pearl Jam, Alice in Chains, Soundgarden too. All the grunge scene from Seattle, and I don't know exactly, you know. Sometimes I can also listen a lot of old bands like The Doors, you know.
Oh yeah, sure.
This kind of thing, yeah. Because my father was listening it when I was young, so I still have the song in my head since I'm a small boy, and it's still good song for me. So I can listen also different things like Typo Negative.
Okay. Typo
I'm a
Negative,
big
yeah.
fan of yes, October Rust album is one of my
That's a
favorite ones.
great album.
Yeah, of course is it. And I don't know, I have to take a look on my Spotify account because I listen so many different things. So
Well, I'll tell you
I
what.
think I am.
Here lately, I've been listening to a lot of Klone, specifically the album that's about to come out, The Unseen. So if I've got it right, that is you guys' 10th album in about 25 years, right?
Exactly, yes.
Okay, so, well, I'll tell you what, before I get into all that, how about you give me and everybody listening the kind of cliff notes on, give us a brief history of Klone.
Wow, so difficult because if I have to take care about all the album we did, it's not so easy. And you know, at the beginning of Klone, we just begin to play music together. It was with my friend. We was just trying to learn how to play our instruments together. We were doing cover songs like Therapy, Ugly Kid Joe, Sepultura, Megadeth, À tout le monde, you know, the song in French.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly all the. I think we was playing a song from Trust. It's a hard rock band from France, and you know, Anthrax usually plays this song. It's called Antisocial.
Oh, sure, yeah. The Megadeth song on the Trust album.
Yes, exactly. Yes, and you know, we just learned to play music together, and step by step, we decided to do our first composition. And at first, we was really influenced by bands like Pantera, and also all the grunge scene. from Seattle, and finally, today we are playing like progressive rock or metal music. And if you listen all the discography of Klone, you can also feel influences like death metal sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, we also like bands like Gojira from France, of course. And what else? We also really like bands like Porcupine Tree,
Okay, sure.
Pink Floyd, this kind of band. And today, just since the Here Comes an album, with this album, we just decided to assume something more progressive and more atmospheric songs. So today we are focused on doing this kind of song, and we feel really good to play this music because this is really what we like to play. So it's a good thing for us because
Absolutely.
when you are young, you know, you try to take different way to try different thing, and finally, maybe also because I'm maybe older and I have 44 years old today, but this is the music I still like to play, so it's cool.
That's
I
great.
like it. But if I have to talk about what we did by the past, we played a lot in France and in Europe and also Australia, but we only did one tour in US,
Okay.
and it was 3 years ago maybe now, and it was with Pain of Salvation, a band from a Sweden band,
Right.
and it was our first tour. We also played in a special festival on the boat. It was the Cruise to the Edge festival with only progressive rock music band, you know,
Right.
with a lot of old people on the boat, you know. It's a special festival for old people, but it's so cool.
So like I was starting to say a second ago there, you guys have got 10 studio albums in 25-ish years, counting The Unseen, which comes out here in early November. The Unseen follows up 2023's album Meanwhile. You guys didn't waste a lot of time with putting out another album, did you?
Well, I don't know why, but all the people with who I'm talking with are asking this question.
Of course.
And you know, it's so strange for me because I have to explain it each time, and people can imagine is that oh, you did this album really quickly, so maybe it's not a good one. This is what I can feel when I hear this question. But finally, just I have to explain it again, but it's not your problem, you know.
Sure.
Just one thing, just no, it's just you know, because of the COVID. We released the last album of Klone, Le Grand Voyage,
Right.
maybe 4 years before or 5 years before
I think it was
Meanwhile album.
2019.
And between both albums, we decided to release one live album because it was not possible for us to do a tour. So we finally decided to release the live album because of that problem. And finally, you know, Meanwhile album was ready 2 years before the release date, and the new album was ready also maybe 2 years before. And it's still a problem, you know, when you play in the band, you have to talk and to manage different things with your label. And finally, when you talk about this with this guy, you have to take care about the plans they have in their head, and I have to deal with the planning they propose to us. And finally, you know, you have to, because for example, for The Unseen, this one is ready since 1 year, mastered with everything was ready, you know, and each time it's the same problem because the album is still ready a lot of time before the release date. And sometimes it's funny because for me it's old songs, and I begin to work on a new album already. So I know that the next time I will have the same kind of question, you know, about oh, how do you do? So it's funny because it's the same problem each time, you know, and sometimes when I compose a song for an album, I can only release it maybe sometime 4 or 5 years after. So each time I release an album, for me it's songs from the past, but it's okay, you know. It's the important thing, I think, that is a good song.
Sure, yeah,
and
absolutely.
Also that people will like it. So if it's okay, I don't have problem, you know. But it's funny because really, it's so funny for me to hear this question each time. You know, it's wow, I have a problem. You know, it's like
yeah, I really like that explanation, though. Like it's almost comforting to know that you've had this material for 4 years or something like that, as opposed to
Yeah,
you
and
could
maybe
just
more
crank out
sometimes.
albums
Yeah,
that are this good that fast.
yeah, yeah. But you know, sometimes also when I work on a song, each time I work on one album, I still have around 3 or 4 songs that I cannot release. So it's like I put all the song in the basement, you know, and I'm waiting
Save them
to
for
be
later.
focused on it later. And finally, sometimes I need more time to finish a song. So sometimes it's cool because I have a song. It's not perfect, but I know if I wait a little bit and I focus on it later, it will be better. And this is the case for this album because you know, just for the story, just sometimes for this album, maybe few songs come from the past, really, from maybe 8 or 10 years ago, you know, yeah, because the first ID, you know,
Sure.
yeah, so
So it's almost
it's like
like
that.
some of these things that end up kind of hanging out in the basement, like you said there, and when you
Yeah,
come back and look at them later, you kind of hear them different and find out a way to make them even better.
exactly. Sometimes just one a small ID miss to finish it, and sometimes, yeah, I don't know why, but I take the song on my computer, I listen it, and okay, this is what I have to do to finish it, and sometimes it's really clear in my head, and I really like when everything is like an evidence for me. So sometimes I just need silence, you know,
Sure.
because when you are focused too much on one song, nothing is clear in your head, and it's not good to find a good ID. And sometimes this is why I prefer to wait when I feel it's not natural, and when I feel that it's not so easy for me. I prefer to wait and to take care about it later.
That's a certainly a smart way to go about it instead of just
Yeah.
focusing on the tunnel vision thing there and forcing yourself to finish it. And it
Mm.
certainly comes through in some of these songs because you can tell that they've had a lot of thought put into them. And some of
Mm.
these things, like it's normal-ish for hard rock or metal songs to have like an aggressive feel to them, right? And
Mm-hmm.
these ones have almost like a hard rock sonic dream atmosphere type feel to them. Is
Yeah.
that how you envisioned all this stuff coming together? Is that how you intended to put it together?
Or I don't have a plan to compose a song, you know, it's just what I have in my head at the moment. I am playing guitar, and there is no more question about what I want to do. It's just sometimes, you know, you wake up with an idea in your mind, and because usually when I walk on the street, you know, sometimes I just get my phone on my hand, and I have an idea in mind, and I sing it. And after this, I try to play the riff with my guitar, and this is most of the time, this is how I compose music, you know. And I have really more ideas that I sing with my voice, that when I play guitar and I record different riff of guitar, you know, it's my first idea come from my brain, and after I have to organize my puzzle, you know, and to make sure that everything will be freed.
Are there ever times where you're making that transition from something that you sang into your phone to actually composing on your guitar and everything, and you think, "Wow, that came out fucking perfect. How'd that work out so well?"
Oh, it's not so, just because sometimes when you walk alone, you know, and you're focused on nothing special, and you have this idea, and you imagine it, you know, playing this idea live with a big audience, you know, and
Sure.
you can imagine the thing. And when everything is clear in your head, and you can really hear the song with your ideas, you know, you can imagine, yes, okay, if I play this riff like that, okay, maybe I can have more place for the bass line. And also I also need to think about the different instruments we will put around, like the voice line. And also sometimes there is a saxophone or there is keyboard. So I just imagine different things. And when the song is good for me in my head, I can say, okay, now I can finish it. I can imagine how it will sound. But after this part of the job, I have to try to play it on my guitar. Sometimes it's not so easy to find the good way to play the riff. Like, and sometimes it's better in your head than when you play it on your guitar. So sometimes it's not so easy. And after that, I also have to think about the drum part, just a minimum thing, because I'm not a drummer, but I need to imagine all the rest to be sure that it will be a good idea. But sometimes, when I have an idea in mind, and when 4 days after, I still have the same idea in my mind, I say that okay, if I still have this one in my head, this is because it's a good idea, so I have to keep it and to work on it. And this is how I can choose if it's a good idea or not, because sometimes I forget it. It's just, okay, and after it disappears. So finally, I think it's my memory helped me to select the good things or not.
Helps sort out the good from the bad.
Yeah.
What's your favorite song on the album?
I need to take a CD because I need the good title, because in my head I still have the work title, and this is not exactly the same. So one of my favorite one is Slow Down. I really like the chorus of this one, and I have I'm a guitarist in the band. I compose a song, but at the end of this song, I play like I say a solo of guitar, but my solo are like I'm not a guitar hero at all. And when I play, so it's a joke, when because in Klone, Aldrich, the other guitarist, is a really big guitar hero. He can play really fast and can do a lot of solos. This is a thing that I cannot do, and we are joking about it, because when I play a solo, it's only 3 notes, and I play really slowly. So if you listen this song at the end, there is one kind of solo, but it's still the same, and it's like a circle of notes, and it's good for me because it's emotional, and for me it's like a solo of guitar that I can I heard with a band like Nirvana,
Okay, yeah.
I'm a grunge solo, I can say, And the other one, maybe After the Sun, also is one of my favorite one, and I remember that the first title was a single song, because it's short. I also have one solo in this one, with maybe 4 notes for this time. Really, but no, it's just I really like the chorus too, and it's a special mood with a good atmosphere. So maybe, but I like all the songs, because if I didn't, it should not be on the CD.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So in talking about solos there, it's not like the song that we're using for intro and outro on the show, Interlace. It has
there is one solo,
it has a saxophone solo.
Exactly, yes. There is one thing with Klone, because Aldrich cannot do a fast solo of guitar, because I don't really like how it sounds. And it's not a problem of that I don't like the fast things in music, but I like when it's the sound of a saxophone, because it's not, for me, a saxophone is like a voice, and there is more emotion, and it's not, it's better for me to hear a saxophone solo with a lot of notes, like Mathieu did on the CD, because it's, I don't like fast solo of guitar, like Symphonics, this kind of band, you can, I think what solo I'm talking about, but
for sure, yeah.
And I'm also a big fan of Jim McDowell from Pantera.
Sure, yeah, of course.
So he can play fast, but this guy is special guitarist for me, and it's not usual to hear a guy that can make sound his guitar like that. So I don't like a cliché of guitar solo.
Right.
And usually when I hear this in a band, it's just a guy who wants to show that he can play fast, and there is nothing more that, for me, music is not a sport. So I really prefer when I can feel something emotionally, and with the saxophone, it's so cool for me. For my ears, it's okay.
Yeah, I love the saxophone parts there. I love horns and rock music. I love all that shit. So in listening to you guys' stuff and catching those sax parts and horns parts, it's been great for me. What?
So cool.
How do you make that decision as to when it should be the saxophone instead of the guitar or something like that?
Oh, this is really what I was explaining before, because for me, Mathieu Metzger is a saxophonist guy in Klone, and he played with the band since the beginning. And each time I need a solo, I'm still thinking about a saxophone solo. And really for this part, especially, at first I remember for the end of the song, it was supposed to be just a full saxophone solo for all the last part. And finally, Jan, the singer, put voices, a part of voice on it. So we just needed to do a mix between both parts and a good equilibrium. Yes, equilibrium and balance between both,
For you, it sounds like when you guys are writing these songs, it's almost weirder for you to want it to be a guitar solo instead of a sax solo.
Yes, it was clear in my head.
That's great. I love it.
Just also because it's not the first time that we did this kind of thing at the end of a song. And when it's a long song with a long end, and it's just a kind of, I like King Crimson, for example.
Sure.
King Crimson, yes.
King
And
Crimson,
if you listen the Red album with one of the most famous song, I don't remember the name of this one, but you have a really big saxophone solo at the end of this one, and it's so cool. I have a great good souvenir of it, and this is what I wanted for this Klone song.
That's great. How was writing and recording The Unseen different than some of the older first albums?
Oh, if I have to compare with the first one?
Yeah.
Wow. The first album of Klone, it was not so a good thing for me because I discovered all the studio things, and I also discovered that I was not a good guitar player, because you have the click, the metronome.
Yeah.
Click, and with the guy on his computer who zoom on it, and it's not good, it's not inside, you have to play it again. And when you begin to play guitar and you record in the studio for the first time, you discover all the problem you have in your kind of playing guitar music, and so the mistake is not good. It's not good because at the end of the studio, the only thing you have in your mind is just that you're not a good guitarist and you was not ready to do this. And at the beginning of it also cost a lot of money to do this, and it was not good because it takes so many time. So now today, if I have to compare, I record my guitar part alone at home, alone with my computer,
Sure.
and I can take all the time that I want, because when you feel the pressure about the money you have to pay at the end of the day, it's not cool because you're not focused on the emotion you want to put on your way of playing. And finally, when I do this at home, even if I have a deadline, I can take care about details. I can try different things to make it play better, and I really prefer to don't feel the pressure of because the first time we were at Paris, I live in the countryside in France, and you have to go to Paris and to pay a big studio. It's not so good, and you have to take care about the hours of the day. You can begin to record at 10 a.m. and you have to finish. And when it's finished, you cannot work on it later if you want it. So
right.
No, really, the good thing is just we are more. Comment on dit? I try to find the word in French. So that's not good. Even I don't find the word in French, so I will not find the good one in English.
That's fine.
It's not cool. But I need time, and it's the same for the singer. You really need to be alone and to take care about all the details. And if I want to do another take, another one, it's good when you don't feel the pressure. So this is a good thing that we have today if I compare with the the first album. It's not good memories for me.
It seems like over you guys' career, there have been different eras of the band. There's the heavier stuff. There's the more atmospheric, kind of dreamy type stuff. Do you have fans come up to you and say things like, "I wish you guys would sound more like this album" or stuff like that? How do you respond to that?
Oh, fuck you all. No, I'm joking, but it's the problem is when you really like you discover a band with one album, usually it will become your favorite album, and after that you never feel again the same emotions that when the first time you discover the band. It's the same for all the people with all the band. Even if sometimes you can discover a new good album, even if it's a good one, you will maybe prefer the one before because you discover it with this one, and you have a special emotion with it when you
Sure.
listen it. It's not about nostalgic things, and it's so complicated. So, and the thing is, even if we will do a more heavy album after an atmospheric one, I will have also another guy who prefer the atmospheric one, and so really I don't I really compose music for myself first. If I like it, it's okay. If the rest of the band also like it, it's cool. And after, what people will do with the songs I will release, it's not really my problem. I don't want to take care about it because there is so many people who want different things, and just the thing is that I can say it's if you prefer to listen a heavy album of Klone, maybe just listen the old one you prefer, and it will be still okay with this. So I don't compose songs specially for the people. Even if I want that they like it, I don't want to compose a song in this way and to think about, okay, what can I play? What can I compose to be sure that the guy will follow me again?
Sure.
I don't want to finish like AC/DC, and even if I like AC/DC, but it's just not my way of thinking. And even if I say that, maybe today with Klone, because we released around 12 albums, we begin to become AC/DC for this kind of music. I say that because I have seen people talking about this on a progressive website on Facebook. I don't remember exactly what they said, but it was yes, Klone are cloning their music today. Okay, yes, if you want, it's not. You can imagine that, but it's not what I try to do. It's just not my fault if I compose songs like that, and if you don't like it, I don't have to feel sorry about this. No, it's just funny because you can imagine that with all the band you like. It's the same for you. I think for example, if I take. For example, I'm a big fan of Opeth.
Okay.
I really like Blackwater Park. I really like Damnation album. I also really like Deliverance. And I'm not a big fan of what they did recently. And I know that each time Opeth will release a new album, I will still prefer the one that I discovered when I was young, because it's just like that. And it's just when you listen music and you associate music with something that happened in your life, it's still something that is bigger in your heart, and it's impossible to get more emotion than what you get the first time.
Sure.
Maybe it's the same time if you talk about love, it's the same things with different people. You can feel the same thing. I think we can compare it, and it's impossible to. There is still one time, or you will say, I prefer what they did before.
Are there any lyrical themes or musical themes on this new album that you want to speak to?
Musical things?
Themes or lyrical themes?
Oh, about lyrical, yes. I don't write the lyrics. It's the part of the job of the singer. Just one thing I can say, it's just that the thing is talking about all the invisible things that is also important in our life, and sometimes you don't know why you are choosing a way to do something, and it's not that I am a special. I don't have a special things with religion. I don't have a special religion, but just one thing I know, I know that something is au-delà, yonder.
Okay, something else.
Yonder.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there is a lot of things that I can explain, but sometimes I can feel, and all the invisible things that you can oh, sorry, I'm not good today. It's difficult to explain this in English for me, but just sometimes people can say, I only believe in what I see, but there is so many things that you cannot understand because you don't have the sense. Your own sense cannot make that you will see, hear, and
Feel
everything. It's not possible because we are only human and we are not gods. And the only thing we can see and feel it from the prism we have, like human, and we are not au-dessus, au-delà, yonder. Yes, beyond me. Sorry, this is a good word. I was trying to see.
What's your favorite song to play live?
It's funny because maybe it's Army of Me, and it's not a Klone song. It's a cover song from Björk.
Björk, yeah.
And the funny thing is that it's so cool for us to play this song because this is every song we have in our set list, and it's a song from Björk that is supposed to be a pop singer. So, and really in live was the thing that we can be a real headbanger. It's Army of Me of Klone of Björk. So
Björk,
maybe
yeah.
this is my favorite one. Yeah.
That's pretty cool though. In you guys' history, is there a performance or a tour or something like that stands out as your favorite?
Of course, it was maybe last year. It was just after the cruise to the Age Festival because we played for the first time in Mexico with Riverside. And it's just because the people were so amazing, because we felt like we was the Beatles, and it was so funny because all the people try to take a photo with you, even if we can also have this in France. If I have to compare with Mexico, it's really beyond what's happened to us in Europe. And when you are playing your song, and just after the first chorus of the song, all the people are applause like it was the end of the song. It's so funny for us because what's happened today? It's so amazing. So it was so cool. And we only did 4 shows in Mexico, and I know that we have a good connection with the people, and we hope to go back again in this country and also the rest of the South of America. But it was also good to play in US, but it was smallest venue. And I hope we will have the opportunity to go back again in US and also to play another tour because the first return we get from the people was so cool. And there is one thing is good in US. It's just at the end of the show, when a guy like it, he come to speak with you and say, hey, so cool guy, and he speak about your show, and you know that it's sincere and that he really like it. So it's cool because just in Europe, people are maybe a little bit shy. Even if they can talk with you, it's not exactly the same thing. But we also have a really good souvenir from US tour.
As in good memories?
Yeah.
So you've played all over. What do you feel like is the biggest difference from region to region and country to country for you guys playing out?
The food. It's just it's maybe a joke because also we are French and we like good food. But if I really have to compare food from US or food we have in France or also in Mexico, because it was so cool. Sometimes it's we are joking about it because sometimes we say that we are not here to play a show, but we are here to have a good dinner, you know. So, you come to play a show? No, we want to hit. And after, we don't care about what will happen, you know, we're just here to hit something and to say, it's good or not, you know. But really, it's funny, but also if I have compared to with the food we have in England, when you play music, it's not good for your health, you know. It's so difficult if you eat this all the day, all the time, like what most of the people do. I know it's not good for my health.
Okay.
I hope it's a good word. Yeah, health, yes.
The food, I love it. That's the best fucking answer you could have had there. How'd you get started with playing the guitar?
7 years old, and at first I was playing classical music, and I did learn it at school, and finally I began to start electric guitar. Maybe I was 12 years old, just trying to play Nirvana songs, you know, this kind of thing. After I discovered the distortion on my guitar, I thought, wow.
Nirvana,
Yeah. And I remember at first I was supposed to play harp, and it's not so easy. Also, I really wanted to become a drummer, but my parents didn't have enough money to buy this. And if also we think about the sound that it can make, and it's not, my parents was not so agree. But finally, you know, one of my best friends get a drum for Christmas, and this is how I discover how to play music with my friend. You know, playing together the cover song I was talking about at the beginning. You know, like Therapy, Ugly Kid Joe, Nirvana,
right.
Sepultura, Pantera, and also maybe Korn at the beginning. You know, it's a mix between new metal sometimes and things from the past, because I was also a fan of Slayer, Megadeth, rest in peace. You know, the two first CD I bought when I was 12 years old, it was Nirvana, Bleach, and Megadeth, rest in peace. You know, it's the opposite things.
Yeah, that's
about guitar playing, but it was cool in my ear.
Speaking of your electric guitar thing, I know that you guys have recently done a bunch of acoustic shows. How difficult is it for you specifically? How difficult is it for you to transpose those songs from electric to acoustic?
Well, it's really not a problem, because when I compose music with my guitar, things that's not really happened today, you know, but by the past I really did this. So I just take my folk guitar, because it's easy to get it, you know, and you don't have to put a cable on something to play. And each time I begin to compose a song, it's with this guitar, and finally it's easy for me to transpose it, because if it sounds on my folk guitar, I know it will be easier to make sound it with my electric guitar. So just it's easy thing, and it's also a good thing, because for me it's cool, because I can play slowly, not slowly, but minimum, you know.
Okay, sure, minimal.
Minimal, and after I can play really high things, and there is more dynamic on my sound. And sometimes even if you have an electric guitar, it's impossible to get more dynamic with distortion, because you will have one point. After you will, if you play harder on your guitar, it will sound the same. But if you do this with your folk guitar, you will feel more aggressivity on it, you know. So I really like to play this folk guitar, and when we are playing Klone unplugged show like that, it's usually funny, because all the people who come to see the show, and when they talk with us at the end, it's just like they say, wow, it was amazing, because I didn't expect that you will sound heavy with the unplugged version. So it's cool. And this is also, and you know, I'm sitting down on the chair, and it's funny, because I can move my head like a net banger, and it's also cool. And also it's so cool, because you know, we are sitting down on the chair, and if we talk about food again, you can eat more, and you don't will have problem, so it's cool, but we also need to play electric because if we are still sitting down on a chair, it's not good because we will become really fat at the end of a tour like that. So we need to do sport sometime. It's a good way for us to make electric show.
Overall, it sounds like you enjoyed playing the acoustic shows, though.
Of course, yeah.
You looking forward to get back to the regular electric shows, though?
We will do it later, maybe next year. And we are supposed to begin a new tour, electric, in February or March. And we don't know exactly, it's just complicated for Klone today because we just come to change the booking agency we had. And we don't know what will happen for us. Maybe we will stop to play music, I don't know. It will depend about the show we'll have, but today we don't have, maybe we have one show confirmed.
Confirmed.
And we are waiting for the rest of the tour, and sometime, today I send email to the guy who are working on the tour, the next tour, and say, hey, do we have a show next year? Because I cannot see anything in my planning, and I begin to feel not good because of that. So yeah, so I know it will happen, but when you don't have the information and you are waiting since 1 month, and you begin to think that, okay, maybe it's finished for me today. I will never play anymore. So, but I know it will happen. I just need to be patient and to wait a little bit more, and it will come back again.
What's one thing you wish you would have known when you began your music career?
I don't know. Maybe just that it will be a long way before that good things will happen to you. Because if I take a look on what's happened for Klone, we just build something step by step, but really slowly. At the beginning of Klone, maybe for the 3 or 4 first album, even if we had a good press results in different magazine, website, even if it was outside of France. When we did the first show, I remember my first show at Paris, in the capital of France, and maybe in the audience I can count 6 or 7 people. And when you are playing for 7 people, it's okay, but you can imagine that you're supposed to think that maybe it will not be a long way for you like that. And finally, I don't know why, maybe because the force of the music sometimes can help also. But you don't know why, but one day you begin to have more and more people on your show, and people talk about it. It's just Klone is not a rich band. So in this industry, when you are not rich, it become really complicated to do a support tour band. Like Gojira did, for example.
Sure.
And when you want to tour outside of France, if you are not a rich band and if you cannot invest a lot of money on your band, the way will be really slow, and this is the way we have chosen, and it's okay, and now I know that if you are patient, if you are not waiting for something special, and you just focus on doing good songs, and step by step you begin to have a good network, you can do something, and this is how we did with Klone, So I'm so happy and maybe fier. Proud.
There you go.
I'm really proud. Sorry, I'm really proud because we are still here today, and we are still motivated to create music and nothing more. And it's cool because it's not easy every day. And it's the same for a lot of different bands. I think you talk about this with a lot of different bands. Everybody has the same problem. We are just so many bands, and we are just waiting for the same goal. About to become enough popular to continue music. Because if nobody take care about your music, that one day you will have to stop. So the good thing with Klone is just that each time we try to get more and more new fans when we are touring in Europe or outside of France or in America, for example. and people are talking when they like a show or when they like your music. Sometimes they talk with their friend, and this is the best advertisement we can have today.
Yeah,
when you don't have money, it's just you just have to pray that people will talk about you.
Well, I know I've had a lot of fun talking with you about all things Klone and all these things. Let's do some of the goofy things that I do to end these conversations, and then we'll get you on to the rest of your night since it's coming up on 11 o'clock there where you are. So here's we'll do a quick set of I'll ask you something, you pick an answer, and then we'll go from there. So the first one, it should be an easy one: coffee or tea?
Cup of tea.
What? Now I've been looking forward to asking you this for about 15 minutes now. What's something that you could eat for a week straight?
Wow. Today or later?
What if you had your choice? What would it be?
I have to find the good word. I was just before this interview. I was eating chestnut with my friend. This is what I get in the forest for free, and I just put it in my kitchen, and this is free and good. So maybe this, and you can eat this with different things in the soup. It's good also.
Sure, chestnut. I didn't see that coming.
Because winter is coming, maybe I can talk about a good French soup with chestnut inside. Sweet chestnut.
Sweet chestnut soup. Got it. Who do you prefer, the Beatles or the Stones?
Oh, the Beatles.
The Beatles.
Far away, of course, yeah.
If you had to compare Klone's music to an animal, what would the animal be?
Oh, so difficult. A mix between my dog and an elephant, because sometimes you can say, I don't know, for example.
Beer or liquor?
I don't really like beer. Maybe I prefer liquor.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how good are you at keeping a secret?
I can keep all the secrets, yes.
All the secrets. He's got all the secrets. He's a 10. Do you prefer the woods or the ocean?
The woods.
And what is your go-to karaoke song?
What is my karaoke song?
Yes.
Do I have to choose a rock music song? Maybe Alice in Chains, maybe Nutshell, The Nutshell. It's a sad song, but I don't think it's a good song for karaoke if you want to make a party, but if you want to get a suicide song, maybe it's a good, but yeah.
So you, Guillaume of Klone,
yeah.
You get sent to an island for the rest of your life. You get to take one album with you. What is that album going to be?
Maybe the Beatles. Maybe Sgt. Pepper's.
Sgt. Pepper, sure.
So difficult, but one of my favorite ones is maybe this one. But now I'm thinking about another one, and so it's so complicated. Maybe I really prefer to have around 5 or 10 CD, my favorite one, but one is so difficult for me to have only one. But maybe the Beatles, because it's a very good one album. So
it's the Beatles, yeah.
Yeah.
At this point, I'd like to say thanks to Guillaume for talking with me today, especially with as late at night as it is for him. Be sure to set reminders and pre-order a copy of Klone's The Unseen, due out on November 8th. You will not be disappointed. I'd also like to thank the Brimming Horn guys as well as Sonic Temple for partnering with the show. There's links for both of them as well as Klone and all of the show notes. Please hit the subscribe button wherever it is that you're listening to this from if you haven't already, and give a rating or a review if possible. At this point, I'm going to pass it back over to Guillaume and let him introduce Interlace for us.
So you will listen the first song of our last album, The Unseen, and Interest is a good song with a beautiful saxophone solo at the end, and I hope you will like it better than one song with a guitar solo. You be focused on this saxophone, and you will see how it can be beautiful and better like an electric guitar.
Perfect.
He